This player created the most overpowered character I have ever seen in D&D, and he didn't use a single rule to do it. But before we start, I need to be clear. This is not a story about a clever build or some genius combination of abilities. This is a story about cheating, manipulation, bad table ethics, and a PlayStation. This was one of the first campaigns I ever played in. I joined late. The group had been playing for years. It was one of those legendary campaigns. I started at level 1, survived everything, and somehow made it all the way to around level 17. These characters had history. They earned their power. And then, this guy showed up. His name was Banana. Yeah, Banana. He was invited by the DM. Nobody really knew him. And at the time, we had no idea that this man would go on to become one of the most chaotic, unhinged, and unintentionally hilarious players we would ever meet. The kind of player that makes you laugh and suffer at the same time. But on that day, he seemed normal. We asked the usual questions. What does your character do? What are you good at? And he just goes, oh, you know, just a fighter. And then the game started. At first, it was subtle. Skill checks, he was good at everything. It didn't matter what the situation was. He had the answer. And we're sitting there like, okay, maybe he just built really well. Then it got worse. Whenever the group hit a problem that required something very specific, a rare ability, a niche spell, something only one character should be able to do, somehow he could do it, every single time. And then came combat. He was tankier than our toughest characters, hitting harder than our damage dealers, resisting things he had absolutely no reason to resist. It was like the rules just didn't apply to him. And then we realized why. His character was based on a comic book character. Yeah, he didn't build a character, he just asked for powers. And then it happened. The party was about to be wiped, completely overwhelmed. And Banana just leans back and goes, all right, I guess I'll try for real now. He proceeds to solo a creature that the entire party couldn't even scratch. At that point, we weren't impressed anymore. We were suspicious. And around that time, something felt off. The DM started disappearing, not hanging out like before, not showing up outside the game, which was weird because we were all friends. So one day, we decided to check on him. We show up at his place, and there he is, completely locked in, playing nonstop, and not just any game, a PlayStation 1. Now you have to understand, back then, this thing was gold. Not everyone had one, and that's when it clicked. Banana, he had lent the DM his PlayStation for a week in exchange for his character. And just like that, everything made sense. The powers, the immunity, the I can do everything build. It wasn't a build, it was a transaction. So if you ever want to create the most powerful character in your group, you don't need a broken build, you don't need system mastery, you don't need optimization. You just need a video game and a weak DM. And trust me, this guy only gets worse. So if you want a more story about Banana and other completely unhinged players, you know what to do.